Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into the heart of the Kansai region, Osaka, Japan. This city is a destination in its own right, with amazing food and lively street scenes. Even better, it served as the perfect base for Paulo and me to go on unforgettable day trips. We're talking easy access to the parks of Nara with its deers and some amazing temples, as well as a day trip to Himeji and its majestic castle and to the Mount Shosha Temple complex. Truly epic excursions, all within reasonable reach from Osaka. Beyond being a great launch pad, Osaka itself has its own attractions. There is the iconic, reconstructed Osaka Castle. Then there's the electric Dotonbori district, a sensory overload of neon lights and the famous Glico Running Man sign. And for soaking in the modern city vibe, Osaka offers towering skyscrapers, huge shopping complexes, and even an awesome observation deck at the Umeda Sky Building. But before we get any further, if you haven't yet seen the first 2 episodes of the Autumn in Japan series, I'll add the links in the description box. I began my first week in the Hokuriku region of Japan, from Nagano to Matsumoto to Takayama and Shirakawa-go to Kanazawa. In Kyoto, Paulo joined me for the rest of the trip. Now on to Osaka.
The Hankyu Railway today. This is the limited express bound for Osaka Umeda. On the way, we will stop at
At Kyoto Kawaramachi Station in Kyoto, we boarded the Hankyu Line train bound for Osaka Umeda Station. This is also a commuter line that connects Kyoto and Osaka, with numerous stops in between. It only took around 40 minutes to get to Osaka and only cost us 400 yen per passenger. After dropping off our luggage at the hotel, we hopped on the metro. It was about a 37-minute ride to Osaka Castle. Osaka Castle is a reconstructed fortress that played a key role in Japan's unification. The castle was quite impressive with its huge stone walls, deep moats, and that majestic main tower. Unlike Matsumoto Castle, which I visited prior to coming to Osaka, the interior has been modernized to function primarily as a museum, with amenities such as an elevator and exhibition spaces. We took the elevator up to the upper story, which provided panoramic city views. So while we got a fantastic sense of the castle's history and its significance, the inside is less about walking through a preserved feudal lord's residence and more about engaging with a well-curated historical exhibition. Just outside the castle walls were food trucks. We tried out one of Osaka's famous snacks.
What am I eating again?
Takoyaki, octopus ball.
Octopus balls?
Yes,
I didn't even know they had balls.
with Japanese radish. Later, we made our way into Dotonbori. Even knowing it would be crowded, the sheer explosion of neon lights and booming sounds was truly over the top. Dotonbori is Osaka's primary entertainment and theater district, dating back to the early 1600s, packed with theaters, tea houses, and restaurants then. Today, the lights, music, and extravagant signs are meant to attract attention, draw people into the businesses. This carnival-like atmosphere does make one feel like they're in a chaotic amusement park. Looking for a restaurant to have dinner, we stumble upon a barushi nearby. After looking at the menu display, we decided to walk up to the second floor. Little did we know that it was a one-person establishment set in a small narrow room and a galley-style kitchen. These pictures really capture the restaurant's unique atmosphere. We were on our way to Nara, a city even older than Kyoto and the first permanent capital of Japan. We activated the 5-day Kansai Hiroshima area pass at Osaka Station and took the Yamatoji rapid service to the JR Nara station. From there, we took a local bus and got dropped off near a temple we were planning to tour. One of Japan's oldest temples, Yakushiji was built in the 7th century. It has a symmetrical layout with the main hall and lecture hall standing on a central axis flanked by 2 pagodas. Beset by fires over the centuries, the main hall has been rebuilt in the 1970s, and the West Pagoda was rebuilt in 1981. The East Pagoda is the temple's only structure that has survived. Yakushiji is known as the Temple of Medicine and is dedicated to the Buddha of Healing. It was given a UNESCO World Heritage Site designation as part of the Historic Monuments of Ancient Nara. Our next stop was to the ever-popular Nara Park, where deers ruled the park. We didn't have their favorite treats on hand, so they basically ignored us. But it was certainly cool to be walking among what were basically wild animals. We walked towards the Nondaimon, the Great South Gate, the main gate of Tōdai-ji Temple. It is the largest temple entrance gate in Japan, suitable in scale to the Great Buddha Hall. The structure was completed in 1203 along with the statues of the guardian deities housed in the gate. After walking through the gate, We found ourselves in an open area again with deers bowing for treats. The next major structure we encountered serving as an intermediate gate was the Shumon Center Gate. Beyond the Shumon was the main attraction, the Daibutsu-den Great Buddha Hall. The Shumon Gate sets up the perfect view of the huge Great Buddha Hall as we pass through it, building up the excitement for seeing the main building. This octagonal bronze lantern dates back to the temple's founding in the 8th century, and its intricate carvings often depict celestial musicians. Before entering the Great Buddha Hall, I looked back to the Shumon Gate. Stepping inside the Daibutsu-den, or Great Buddha Hall, the massive bronze statue of the Great Buddha, Daibutsu, itself dominated the entire space. The construction of the Great Buddha was completed in 749 AD. On either side of the Daibutsu, there are smaller but still impressive statues of other deities. Beyond just the massive statue, the sheer scale of the hall is impressive. Around the perimeter, you'll find displays of the temple's original models. The Great Hall back then was wider than the current building, and moreover, there were 2 pagodas to the east and west, similar to the Yakushiji Temple that we just visited. The pillar hole is a wooden pillar with a hole carved through its base. Legend says that anyone who can squeeze through this hole will be granted enlightenment or good luck, as the hole is said to be the same size as one of the great Buddha's nostrils. Paulo was up for the challenge, and he succeeded. The sun was already setting in the horizon when we exited the Great Buddha Hall. The hall was bathed in a warm golden glow, the light accentuating its vast wooden structure. The overall effect was one of awe and peace. The golden hour enhanced the temple's beauty and created a serene environment, making a visit to Tōdai-ji a truly memorable experience. From our hotel, we walked to Umeda Station and boarded the Midosuji subway line northbound to Shin Osaka Station, which took approximately 7 minutes. Once we reached Shin Osaka Station, we went to the Shinkansen platform and waited for the Sanyo Shinkansen for Himeji. I was really impressed by the Shinkansen's technology and its integrated safety gates. It's so much more advanced than the public train systems back home. Soon our train arrived and we were leaving Osaka behind. We arrived at Himeji Station within 45 minutes. In front of the station was the Himeji City sign. If you look really closely at the center, you can make out Himeji Castle in the distance. It's not a coincidence that the Himeji city sign is positioned where it is. From the station, we took the city loop bus to the castle grounds. Himeji Castle, often called the White Heron Castle because of its brilliant white exterior, is widely considered to be Japan's best preserved feudal castle. We entered through the gate and walked up the main keep. Unlike many other Japanese castles that were destroyed by war or natural disasters and later reconstructed, like Osaka Castle, Himeji Castle has remained largely intact for over 400 years. It miraculously survived bombing during World War II when a bomb that hit the castle grounds failed to detonate. And it also withstood the Great Hanshin earthquake of 1995. Himeji Castle dates back over 600 years. The first set of fortifications was built in the 1400s, and the present castle complex was completed in 1609. Its exceptional beauty, historical significance, and complex defensive systems earned it a designation as one of Japan's first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1993, as well as a national treasure. After our tour of Himeji Castle, we took a bus to take us to the base of the Mount Shosha ropeway, located on the outskirts of Himeji City, from where we boarded the cable car to take us up to the Engyo-ji Temple complex. We had purchased a Mount Shosha ropeway package ticket at Himeji. The combination ticket included a round-trip bus ride to and from the ropeway and the round-trip cable car ride.
Buildings and Buddhist statues here are designated as important cultural properties of Japan. It takes about 20 minutes on foot to get to the main.
Yakushiji Temple is a group of temples founded by a Buddhist monk in 966 AD. Comprising dozens of historic buildings, monuments, and grave sites, the main temple and its 6 sub-temples cover an area of more than 31 hectares. The secluded mountain setting made for a great training center for monks in the area. At the gate, Paulo rang the bell and placed a monetary offering in the offering box. Bell ringing announced our present to the Buddhas and also symbolized cleansing and renewal. The temple buildings were not clustered together but spread out across the densely forested mountaintop. As we walked towards the main hall along the forested trails, there were areas that encouraged quiet contemplation. Manadon Hall. Often considered the main hall, this impressive wooden temple is built on stilt-like foundations on a steep slope, reminiscent of Kiyomizu-dera in Kyoto. It was built in 970 AD, burnt down in 1921, and was rebuilt in 1933. From the balcony, the scene was particularly beautiful during the autumn foliage, as the sunlight magnified the colors of the leaves. A bit further into the forest, there was a cluster of 3 large, magnificent wooden buildings forming a U shape around a courtyard. Built between the 10th and 15th centuries, each of the 3 halls fulfilled an important role within life at the temple. One of its most famous claims to fame was its use as a major filming location for the Hollywood movie The Last Samurai, starring Tom Cruise and Ken Watanabe. This was largely due to its remarkable preservation and the absence of modern infrastructure within its grounds, making it perfect for period films. Many Japanese historical dramas were also filmed here. The views from here were spectacular. There were a few other temples and buildings to explore, but because the day was ending, we wanted to make sure that we didn't miss the last cable car leaving from the ropeway. Otherwise, it would be a long hike down in the early evening light. Overall, Mount Shosha and Engyo-ji Temple offered a serene journey into Japan's spiritual and historical past, surrounded by natural beauty. In the distance, under the night sky, Himeji Castle was illuminated in white. After 2 days of sightseeing outside of Osaka, we stayed in the city on what was to be our last day in Osaka. We strolled through Dotonbori just as businesses were beginning to open. We saw things that we missed during our first evening in Osaka, like the Ferris wheel officially known as the Ebisu Tower. The Ferris wheel is adorned with a giant image of Ebisu, the Japanese god of commerce and luck, which is particularly revered in Osaka. After strolling along the Dotonbori Canal, we ended up at Doguyasuji, Shotengai, a shopping arcade that sold cookware, kitchen utensils, and restaurant supplies. It is nicknamed Kitchenware Street, as many professional chefs and cooks buy the tools of their trade here. We were looking to purchase Japanese knives, so we browsed along here. Unlike the flashy neon of Dotonbori, here the energy came from the sheer density of utilitarian and practical items, as well as the kitschy robot that roamed the aisle. Afterwards, we made our way to Steakhouse Kozai for a lunch of Kobe beef. While Kobe beef is considered a luxury, Steakhouse Kozai offered a good value, especially for lunch sets. We enjoyed the dining experience as much as the food itself. Kobe beef is special because it comes from a specific strain of Japanese black cattle, exclusively raised and processed in Hyogo Prefecture. It is famous for its incredible marbling, giving it a melt-in-your-mouth texture and rich flavor. It's a premium, highly priced beef known for its exceptional quality. Towards the end of the day, we made our way to the Umeda Sky Building. It is one of Osaka's most iconic landmarks, a striking feature of the city's skyline. But before we went up, we stopped by for a break at one of the coffee shops in the lower levels before taking the elevator up to the 35th floor. From there, a long transparent escalator crosses the open atrium space between the two towers, leading to the observatory entrance on the 39th floor. The two towers form an arch-like structure with the observatory floating between them. We timed our ascent so that we would be on the rooftop deck by sunset. We felt the cool breeze as we stepped out on the deck, marveling at the sprawling city below. After the sunset, we went back inside to have a bite to eat and drink at one of the cafes. But once it got very dark, we went back up the observatory for one last view of Osaka under the evening sky, a breathtaking canvas of twinkling urban lights. Thank you for watching. I hope you are enjoying our Japan travel stories. Stay tuned for more. Please subscribe so you'll know when the next video of our Japan trip is released.